What is good? What is good? All right, so breaking news. I'm sure you're all aware of it already. Uh, it's Gavin Newsome versus Donald Trump, and it's gonna get wild this week. What we're talking about is the National Guard now deployed on the streets of Los Angeles by Donald Trump in direct opposition to California's governor, who didn't request National Guard assistance and is now suing the federal government, claiming that Donald Trump is provoking the violence that's going on now. And it all started Friday afternoon when ICE raids were going on heavily around Los Angeles, and a group of immigrants and a group of locals finally decided they had enough. They had enough of people being kidnapped off our streets, and so they decided to fight back. And now we have what we have. Donald Trump, who honestly has no authority to deploy troops on American soil in any state without the express request of the governors of those states. Unless we are in a declared war, the National Guard belongs to each state that they are posted in. So the fact that we aren't at war with any foreign country takes away Donald Trump's ability to deploy U.S. troops on American soil. But we're talking about Donald Trump here. Donald Trump has absolutely no regard for the law or the Constitution. In fact, he once talked about canceling the Constitution because he didn't like it, because it goes against his agenda. It makes it impossible for him to crown himself king. So what's going on now in L.A. Is actually bad for the people, good for Donald Trump, because if for whatever reason he decides to declare martial law, then he becomes absolute ruler, and then all bets are off. Then the only solution I see is a military solution to remove Donald Trump. He needs to be impeached. He needs to be convicted by the Senate, and he needs to be removed from office. And if we can't get that, then somebody needs to invoke, Article 25, I believe? Because Donald Trump is obviously incompetent. He is obviously a threat to our national security. He honestly is. And what's worse is that for you National Guardsmen who are currently deployed on the streets of Los Angeles, you've actually violated your oath by following an unlawful order, and every order hereafter other than return to base are unlawful orders. And I was hoping that there wouldn't be any military leaders that would follow Donald Trump's unlawful orders, but obviously we have some who are willing to assist him in his further criminality. Um, it 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 honestly surprised me the fact that Donald Trump even got reelected. This man is a 34 count convicted felon. Think about that. I want all you felons out there to think about the fact that you've been denied employment. Your a lot of your rights have been taken away because of a felony conviction. But here we are with a 34-time convicted felon running the country. Does that make any sense whatsoever? Not a bit. I could never figure that out. Donald Trump shouldn't have been allowed to run for office. But here we are, living in this bizarro world that we call the United States that looks absolutely nothing like the country I volunteered to serve back in the 80s when I went into the military. I took an oath to the Constitution, not to any man, not to any organization or political party, but the United States Constitution. And that oath is forever. Even though I'm no longer on active duty, I still stand by that oath that I took to protect this country and to defend this country from all enemies, foreign and domestic. And I hope that many of you veterans out there still understand what that was all about. And for those of you that have joined the cult of Donald Trump, shame on you. You're all criminals. And you all need to be prosecuted. Plain and simple. Let's call a spade a spade. You are aiding and abetting criminality against the United States, and it needs to be dealt with. It's funny how Donald Trump is trying to use the Insurrection Act to bring order to Los Angeles. However, it was all good on January 6th when he sent his followers to literally take over the United States government. They stormed the Capitol, and Donald Trump called them patriots. And Donald Trump pardoned all of these idiots. And he continues to pardon criminals all around the nation because they were loyal to him and his agenda. So what's going on in Los Angeles was bound to happen. But unfortunately, it's what Donald Trump wanted to happen because it's going to give him a platform to continue with his bullcrap rhetoric and, invoke martial law in this country and seize total control. We're in trouble, y'all. We need to really understand what's going on, and you need to be ready to fight because it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good for us. And I know a lot of you out there are, looking at me as an alarmist, a fear-mongerer, or whatever the hell. But no, this is real talk. I've been telling y'all for years that if Donald Trump got reelected, we were going to have serious problems. And look what we got going on now. Los Angeles is on fire. These people are going crazy out there. And it's going to spread. That's the scary part. It's going to spread. And before you know it, the whole country is going to be out of control. And I don't know. I hate to see what comes next. Hopefully, cooler heads will prevail, and the true adults in the room will get control of this government and work on getting Trump out of there. He needs to be behind bars. And a lot of people there in Washington that are supporting him needs to be behind bars as well. So we got a lot of work to do, people. If we have midterm elections, that's going to be our last chance to get Donald Trump out of office legislatively. So if y'all sit at home in 2026 because you don't like what the Democratic Party's doing or whatever bullshit excuse you come up with not to vote, then we're going to get more of what we got now, and you're basically going to give the country over to a dictator. So think about that. All right, y'all. That's my little afternoon rant. I am done for the day. I will be back later, depending on what's going on. I'm your man's Ken Jackson. This has been the Ken Jackson Experience Daily Commentary. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. I would love for you to tune in. Like I always say before, hey, I'm not the most dynamic speaker. I'm not the most exciting guy. You know, I don't have nothing to sell you. I'm not pushing any merchandise or any products. Just want to have some conversations. All right, till next time, y'all. Peace, and I'm out. Catch y'all later.